everybody, it's Stalker13R coming at you with another episode. And this week we're platooned up with the Train Clan. I gave a little preview in a video a week or two ago, and here's going to be all 5 perspectives from a 5-person platoon. And we're going to have English Bray 90 in the artillery wagon there. We're going to have Troll Danger from the Train Clan here, Epic Tanker, and we're going to have Gypsy Boy Brad 16, also of the Train Clan. And a great bunch of guys, excellent tankers. And today we're going to talk about teamwork and when you need to make a sacrifice for the team and do something that's going to allow an opportunity for something else, for someone else, and when you need to conserve your HP and keep yourself in the game because you're going to need to be there to perform those critical functions later on. So we'll continue with the introductions. There's myself and a Tiger 2, the mighty beast of the battlefield. Not statistically known for winning a lot of games, but we'll see what we can do today. And there's an E75. This is just a shout out to Fed Guy 311. I've seen you in the game quite a bit, and you're an excellent tanker, and we just wanted to say hi while we're doing the intro. So you can see the light tanks, and those light tanks were pushing the artillery because if a light tank on the other team pushes deep into our territory early, they can spot that artillery before he gets back there and tucked away. So they're giving him a shove to make sure he's out of the way and doesn't get spotted and taken out early in the game. So that's a little bit of team play while they're moving up on that side. So we've got a TD down here in the open field that's really slow, charging across the open within spotting range, and that is an example of not a sacrifice you need to make for your team. So, pick a little better path there. So, hey, it happens to everybody, right? So we've got to even up the score because we're losing 0-1. So Troll Danger's up here and in place, spotting up that T-28, and we're gonna work it together as a team. And everybody's got a job to do. Somebody's got to spot it and distract it. Now we need to fix it in position. So we find it, we fix it, and then we're gonna continue to work that issue. So here's Mad Dog 19K. And he's going to work on those tracks. He's got the turret armor to go ahead and sit out here and duke it out a little bit. But we've got to get this issue worked before the rest of the enemy team comes up and gets online. So he's going to keep that target fixed in position. And then somebody else is going to help work down that health pool, as you can see is happening right now. And it's none other than yours truly, because I've got that German gun. So I can hit those turret cheeks. That's right next to the gun, which is the weak spot. And I'm going to sit here in place, and I'm going to go ahead and bring that health pool down. So we find it, we fix it. Now I'm going to bring that health pool down. And we're able to do all of this because Gypsy Boy Brad 16, or Gypsy as we'll call him, is up here, and he's protecting our flank. Now this is a tough job for a light tank to do, but he's got to hold everybody else off because we've got our bloomers out in the open there. And we're going to get them blown off if these guys come up over the ridge and lay into our side armor. So somebody's got to hold these guys back and give us the time that we need to work that Overwatch target so that we can then get the rest of the team dealt with. So you find them, you fix them, you lighten up that target, and then way from the backfield, it's English Bray 90, or EB as we call him. Goal! And he's like the QB of console, huh? So, our very own quickie baby-like console version here with English Bray. And he's putting a number on the board. What are we, like a minute and a half, 2 minutes into the game? And he's already put numbers up. Now, Gypsy Boy Brad 16 is a great tanker, and he's performing a great function for the team here. But, you're only going to hold for so long, and that's what holding actions end up doing. And he's going to get taken out right here. But don't worry, Gypsy, I've got some good footage of you actually running around and doing some miraculous feats in next week's video, and we'll get it just before Christmas, so you'll have some good family footage there. So I got you covered, because, he was making really good plays all day. But now that we've got that T-28 out of the way, it's time to work these other targets and get a little vengeance for our platoon mate Gypsy there. So Troll Danger's out here, and he's spotting in this deal so that the enemy team that's moving up into town doesn't have freedom of motion, and they have to be careful about how they move around. We're going to go ahead and clear up this north flank, because while we've got that opportunity and their Overwatch is out, if we wait, then their new Overwatch is going to show up from across the river. So EB's in the backfield here, and he knows that we'll deal with that light tank, but that M103 moving up is the priority target. The rest of the team's softening up that damage and getting his health point pool down, and he's going to get another round out here. Here it comes. I promise. It's on the way. And there it is! Goal! It's up in the right-hand corner there. I'll have to figure out how to make that text appear all the way across the screen in bigger letters for EEB, but in the meantime, good work. So we're 2.5 minutes into the game, and that's his second kill. So that's how that is going to go for the enemy team here in the north. And Troll Danger's working this light target. You know, we've got to get some vengeance for what he did to Gypsy. And we're just all going to move in together. I'm going to put one in the light tracks here. Light tank tracks are known to be the heaviest armor in the game. According to, who was that? Space 123? Was it Spartan Elite? Or was it Sins himself? I don't remember who was saying that in one of the videos I watched the other week. But it certainly is true. But that's okay, because Mad Dog 19, he's already put one in the focus fire in that initial engagement on him, and he's going to come around here and block this light tank's escape path, and he's going to have one waiting for him right in the face. So now we've won our flank, and there's only one thing to do when you win your flank, and that is generally race back to base, because if you won your flank, you didn't win the other one 9 times out of 10. So be ready to fall back and make that play. Troll Danger's going to be on it. He's moving under heavy fire here, but he's got to get back, and he's got to, just having that enemy team spotted, you know, that's going to slow down their movement forward, you know, because they're going to get on our base here in a second, but we can't afford to have, you know, more than one or more than two. You know, everyone that you can keep on the other side of that river, even if it's just by keeping them spotted so that they'll know if they stick their nose out they're going to get hit, is a huge effort. So, you know, it's critical that you get there in that early phase so that your problem doesn't get worse. And to make this problem even worse, as this E75 knows, he's already safe down there. EB can't get a shot on him. So, what can we do is the situation that we're in, and Troll Danger's making that assessment. If he goes all the way out to get the shot that he needs to penetrate an E75, he's going to be exposed to that enemy team that's across the river. We're about 1/3 capped, so we've got some time to work that issue. So wisely, he doesn't rush in just to get that reset right now. We've still got a little time, and he's in position that if time runs out, he can make the sacrifice, but he's being disciplined and holding back. Now he's keeping those targets lit, and he's presenting a threat in different areas, slightly left and slightly right. That's going to keep those enemy turrets turning, and that's going to keep their targeting circles in that large bloom. So he's just going to continue to work that problem until we can come up with a better solution. Meanwhile, Mad Dog 19 knows that he's got to get out of here in time, or we're going to get trapped in this little pocket of low ground up on the north side. So he's going to make the run, but he's going to take these flank shots. You know, even if it's a quick shot and it's a bounce, even if it's just a round that passes right in front of the tank, anything to slow that enemy team's movement into position is gonna be effective and help us out. But now he's starting to take some fire, and he's really got to get up and over this ridge, because the enemy team's also pushing down off of their ridge in the north, and they're closing in on the city. So this little area is about to be a denied area. So we've got a couple of TDs over here, and I really wish they'd have moved back, dropped back farther, because, you know, here our heavy tanks are dropping back, but you know, they're just up there and exposed with their flanks out on the breeze, and I really wish that they'd have been, you know, addressing that. They were better equipped and better positioned to deal with this E75 than we were. So I think that was a little bit of a misplay, but you know, we'll see if we can pull it out regardless. So Mad Dog's going to move into position. You know, once again, it's an E75. It's a tough customer from an armor standpoint. But even if he can just go for that road wheel and maybe get some damage and fix him into place, someone else can get that critical weak spot hit and get some of that time off. So you saw there was a heavy tank that moved in there, and as soon as Mad Dog dropped his track, that heavy tank was able to make that reset. And we were at about 2/3 capped at that point, and someone had to make the sacrifice and make that play. And a heavy tank that wasn't on our platoon went ahead and moved in there and did that. And that really saved us, not only from being capped out, but it was a sacrifice that the team could afford to make for later. So that heavy tank was there doing his job. So once again, it's all in that process of when is it time to make that push and perhaps sacrifice your tank, and when is it time that you need to continue to work the problem and keep your tank in the game. Because, at the end of the day, not everybody's going to survive every battle. So EB's still back in the backfield here, and he's dropping rounds in. And, he's put his 3rd kill on the game. Goal! And it was a Tiger 2, and that was good work. So what that artillery fire and those TDs are doing is they're keeping the rest of that enemy team on the other side of the river. They're not allowing them to go, because if we get 2 enemies in that cap that are artillery safe, there's just no way that we're going to be able to get that reset against multiple enemies. So, Troll moving in early on and getting them spotted, and then people keeping fire on those vehicles so that they couldn't have the bravery and fortitude or opportunity to push across that river and get in there. And there I'm softening up that Tiger 2, and then EB came in and dropped around through his roof and took him out. But I'm in a really bad spot. You can see just to my 9 o'clock, Mad Dog's making his escape over the ridge, but I know it's too late for me. If I try to go up there now, I'll just get focus fired in the rear armor, because the enemy team in the north here is pushed into the city. And you can see I'm spotted. I've got vehicles moving into the north. I can't get around the north side. I can't go over the ridge. And if I go out into this field too far, like this TD did earlier, there's only going to be one outcome there. So I'm going to do everything I can and try to keep that enemy team, just anything we can do to stop their forward momentum. If we can break their momentum and fix them into position, by firing at multiple angles, by keeping them spotted, then at least we're gonna not have our problem get worse. Because we're 5 minutes into the game and we're still losing by 1, and we've been losing by 1 for most of the game. So I'm going to back into the cover here. These TDs seem to be distracted by this T-32 and trying to get shots on him. So I'm going to see if I can't pin him into position or get him where they can shoot at him. And hopefully then they'll be able to drop back and maybe help out with that cap situation, because we've still got that E-75 sitting in cap. So I'll get a shot into him, but not before the artillery finds me, and luckily I just got a tracking shot there, and I took another one in the flank, but we'll drop a track on this T-32 and see if they can't get something connected with him. And I've got him moving in behind me. So when you're fighting that delaying action up there, I'm just trying to keep as much pressure off of this southern effort as I can for as long as I can, because I know I'm trapped in, I know I'm outnumbered, and I know they've got multiple angles on me. It's only going to be a matter of time, but I've got to try to keep and give the rest of my team as much time as I can so that they can get their work done. Now we've still got that E-75 in the cap. Mad Dog's still working on the tracks here. EB still can't get a firing solution and get a shot down in there, but the enemies across the river, they're getting whittled down and they're not being as effective. So we've got a higher tier heavy tank moving into position here. He's going to go ahead and put a shot into that E-75, but he's going to give up a lot of HP to do it. And he really needs to be here where Mad Dog 19K is. So Mad Dog's going to give up that position and move into the low ground and push right up on the city. And that'll put a lot of pressure on those guys and make sure that they don't push in and try to support this E-75. So that was a great team play for Mad Dog to make. When you're in a good spot and somebody that's better suited to be in your good spot comes along, by all means give it up and go somewhere else and do a different job. And having a T-32 pushing in on them is definitely going to bring down their aggression and ensure that this E-75 doesn't get the help he needs. And we're going to continue to try to find a way to work it. So you can see that heavy tank that made the sacrifice burning at the 11 o'clock here off of Troll Danger's bow. And they're still doing their job, and they're still racking up those spotted target assists. They're still keeping these guys distracted, and they're keeping them from pushing up. And then once the opportunity presents itself, you'll see another light tank come in here, and that light tank's actually gonna get some meaningful damage on this E-75 while it's distracted and looking up here at Troll. And it's either Bree or Zabrixo or Zabriho. I don't know how you say the gamer tag name here, but it's a 1390, and this tank was really putting in a lot of good numbers and a lot of good work, and doing good things for our team overall. But here's Stalker, and as you can see, they've got me from two different angles. I've held out as long as I can. I've done all the damage I can do, and here we are. It's now 8-8, and it's still a tie game. So we've got a lot of action. Meanwhile, Troll has pushed across the river and taken an aggressive position so that we can get the Overwatch, which is Fat Tina here. I'm just reading the gamer tag. Don't climb my tree in the comments. Got Fat Tina on the spot, and she's driving a Borsig, and that's a tough customer. But Troll isn't, he can only do so much to take her on face to face, and had a couple of flank shots while there was just a little bit of undulation in that terrain. Troll knew that he was below that ridge line and could take a minute to take a couple of those flank shots at those tanks in the city and give a little cover for our team that was pushing across the bridge. Get one more target out of the way. But, doing the dance, sometimes you take a trade, and you can afford one trade with a Borsig, but you can't afford two. So somebody's got to get that Borsig out of position, because that's the Overwatch that's going to unlock that western flank on this map. And we've really got to make that push, because, the game's tied up, and we've got to get some action going and take the momentum. And there we go, we're 9-8, so for the first time, I think, in this game, we're actually one tank to the lead, and we've got to exploit that opportunity. So Mad Dog 19K is going to move up here and make an aggressive play, because a heavy tank bearing down on that Borsig, it's going to push it out of position. And we've got to get that done. And it's going to be, we need to get it done, and we need to get it done quickly. So no matter what it takes, the play's got to be made. So it's an aggressive play to push across this open field, but that's what's going to get that Borsig to back off. And a round from that artillery was expected. One round of softening damage is all Mad Dog's going to get, but the Borsig's out of position and on last health, and as a 1 or 2 shot, and those light tanks are going to be able to move in and take it out. Meanwhile, that T-32 that was giving us problems up there on that north and keeping everybody distracted, EB's going to drop one into the tracks there, do a little bit of damage, and then there's a track target assist for 1, and we've got a track target assist for 2, and that target's out of the way. So that's that teamwork. And we'll see who it was that was taking those flank shots up there to see what kind of coordination we had going on in this platoon. So now that we've got that western flank opened up, we've got to push on to victory. So here's Troll Danger, and he was the one that was putting those flank shots into that T-32 that was tracked by English Bray 90 in the artillery, and now we've got the pressure off of that eastern side of the map, where we were working that northern corridor in the first. So now Troll's got to push north on this western flank. Got to keep my directions straight here. And we've got to get in there, and now that we've got the initiative and we've got the momentum going, Troll's got to push in deep, because if anything's going to pull this game out for the enemy team, it's going to be that light tank spotting up those TDs and then the artillery taking them out once they're fixed into position. So Troll's got to work quickly to get back in there and get this target lit. There's only so many places it can be, but we'll see how this coordinated effort goes again. So there the target is spotted, He's going to get around into this target, and we'll see how long it takes from spotted to hit all the way across the map, corner to corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So about 6 seconds from the time that you're spotted to the time that round comes through your roof. And that's corner to corner on a map that's pretty good size. It's not the biggest map, but it's definitely not one of the smaller maps. So there we go. And once you get lit, you've got just a couple of seconds to get out of dodge, or that round's going to come through. And that's the kind of coordination you have to have if you want to keep those enemies on the move, keep their targeting, their aiming circles big and bloom, to prevent them from getting critical hits or, even getting them to miss and bring their overall DPM down. And it's that coordinated fire where you can get a target from multiple angles so that it can only have cover from one direction. The more you can keep them on the move and keep them out of play, that's what's going to bring your overall team DPM up. So Troll's going to move into position to overwatch this circle fight rather than getting right into it himself, because that's going to give him the opportunity to bring that aiming circle down and keep it small. So right there, when he's on the 3 o'clock side of that circle, when that tank's going straight at you or straight away, is the time to take that shot. And there you can see it was 5 seconds from the time that Troll got that tracking shot, that artillery round came in. So that light tank had to get that repair kit done and had to get out of there, otherwise he was going to get one dropped right through the roof. But I think this game's about over now. We'll finish it up. Troll getting a ram kill there, you know how I like it. So that was a lot of action. It was a long video. Next week we won twice as fast, so the video will only be half as long. And I hope you enjoyed getting to see that game from all 5 different perspectives. And well done to the lads on that one. Great bunch of tankers. These are just my average stats here. I got a Confederate medal and almost 2,000 damage. And a Tiger 2, super average, super everyday game. But all these guys working together is what really made us a victory on this game. And, a lot of the rest of our team was actively trying to lose it during the rest of the game. We're able to pull it out. So, Troll Danger with 1,000 damage individually and a bunch of spotted, 3,000, I think he had 3,000 spotted damage, 3,504 kills there. And, Mad Dog was putting up good numbers. Gypsy, I'm going to get you next week, and you'll have a lot of screen time with your fancy driving and putting targets off the board. And I want to give a big thanks to the Train Clan. Bunch of guys, and the in memory of is in-game death only, not real death. So don't get excited in the comments. But shout out to the Train Clan and Mad Dog, who I think is still independent. And I hope you all have a happy Christmas, and that we can platoon up again. Tune in next week. We're going to have a second game from this same session. And then, who knows, maybe we'll be able to move on to the A7 Cav clan, and I'll be able to put up some of my own clan members in all their glory. So thanks for watching. Happy holidays. I'm Stalker13R. Thanks for watching.